So the game did end on a positive note for Akane and her friends, us included, but we did forget one important factor in that ending, and that was the status of our girlfriend Ren. Seems that she is still stuck in that coma we left her in the hospital. But you may recall at the ending we did get a mysterious email from an unnamed person, and this same unnamed person seems to have a way that we can save Ren. All we have to do is come open the door for them. The thing is, though, that this might not be the best idea, especially as Oyama points out that the game has seemingly restarted itself, even without the presence of Akane. And Oyama seems to think pretty strongly that we are just heading straight into a trap, but Ren is a very important figure to us. She pretty much sacrificed her life for ours, so it seems the only right thing to do is to try our luck and see if we can't help Ren. But with our decision to help Ren, Oyama has decided that it's probably not safe to stay in RTS any longer, and has decided to re-enter the spectral cyberspace. And with that, we start our 8th day in our Davy's room, where he has decided for some reason to bring Ren instead of a proper hospital, but we won't ponder on that too long. Instead, we'll be greeted by this mysterious voice of this person trying to help us, while we get our first real look at Davy's apartment. Outside of whatever that was on the floor, Davy seems to be very into what I assume to be films in general. Looks like sci-fi, romance, and horror. Otherwise, though, it's a pretty normal college apartment, I suppose. And while we could look around, we are pretty much wanting to follow one specific trail here. And there are a few hints as to where you need to go, such as this, what I assume to be not normal gaping hole in the wall. But also, you'll know you're always on the right trail as long as you get that little bit of dialogue from this mysterious helper. But through that hole, we have entered into what I assume to be our next-door neighbor's apartment. And though it may not seem immediately evident, we have been here before. Because as we scan the room, we do see that we are definitely back in Yuto's apartment. Nothing really major has changed here, but well, as we are following that voice, this does seem to be where we need to head. And more as we learn more, or we get more dialogue from this mysterious entity, it seems to almost come across as somewhat sympathetic. Maybe it's another trapped soul in the game. Here in Yuto's room, there isn't too much to it still. And in the closet, we don't find any evidence of where Yuto died, but if we do check up, we do find that there was an attic that we missed out on. And in the sprawling attic, we don't see anything... Oh. Actually, what is that down there at the end? Looks like it might be some problem with the emulator, but no, in reality, this is just how the game looks. Like some explosion of distorted color here. And from that crawl space, we find ourselves in what seems to be another nearby apartment, but no real explanation for these bizarre splotches of color. It also seems we've lost that guiding voice, but I think we just have to keep following these colors. So there you go. There is our additional ending, our extra special ending for going out of our way and collecting every body part by playing through 2 separate playthroughs. Definitely not a happy ending in the least. It seems that we were nothing more than bait, so that Ren could become another vessel for this anomaly of AI that has somehow sprung to life inside of this game. Still, it could very well have been that this was some much older evil that had latched onto modern technology and found its way into modern society to try to get its stranglehold back on human souls. Overall, though, it made it seem like instead it was just something given born by the technology of the times and just the almost continual negative feelings that inhabit people. But we're not completely done just yet. As we get this jazzy, funky rendition of this main theme song for the game, there is one additional ending. So I'm going to let you guys finish listening to this, and I will join you in a couple minutes. So, you may recall that we had a yes or no option, and we can select no to help Ren, which might seem initially very selfish, but considering we know what the outcome will be if we select yes, in retrospect, it's really not as bad. We can assume, possibly at this point, that at least Davy doesn't have to get harassed by the evil entity in the game anymore, and though we are stuck with Oyama, apparently forever in our TS, Ren still won't wake up, but at least she is not a vessel for evil. So there you go. There are all the endings of the game. I'd say that last one is probably the best outcome we could possibly get. I mean, Ren was able to help us successfully in the end, and I think, well, from what we learned from the program there at the end, even though she is in a coma, she is happy and she probably still has an existence on par with Oyama, which is, like I said, it's a massive step up from being just an empty vessel for whatever evil sentience was residing in the game. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this outing. I did enjoy the fact that I was able to present this game to you guys, and that overall this was a marked improvement over the first game. Sadly, this was not the end of the Nanashi series, but the last good game. There have been a few cell phone games. There were some DSi titles that were released that were just the platforming sections or building on the platforming sections but had no story. This was really the end of the Nanashi storyline while the franchise still continued on for some inexplicable reason. So I still kind of felt it ended on a high note, but still ended on very much a cliffhanger, which was a bit of a sad state of affairs, but hopefully you guys will join me next time for whatever I decide to do, and see you guys later.